Hello and welcome to another video here at W+9. This is Dawn. So today I have a quick and easy video for you featuring some ink blending and the W+9 Pure Color inks. And we're going to pair that with a fun partial die cutting technique. Now this is a lot of fun, but it's also super easy. If you love ink blending, then this is something that you may want to check out. It's an easy way to add a little wow factor to a simple ink blended background. So for this, I'm going to be doing two cards. So I took a 4¼ by 5½ inch panel and I cut that in half. Now these are going to be our focal points. For the first card, I'm going to be doing a red to yellow blend. And instead of getting that traditional orange color between the red and the yellow, I'm going for more of a coral color. So here I'm using Gala Red, Sweet Nectar, and Queen Bee. I love the way these colors look blended together, and it's just a little bit different, like I said, than that orange. That coral is just a little different. So I'm using some blending brushes here, and you'll notice that I'm not going incredibly heavy with my first layer of color. When I'm blending, I like to put down one layer of color, blend all my colors out, and then I come back and I put one more layer of each color. To me, the slower progression of color just blends more smoothly and evenly than putting down too much color at once. So it's not a lot of extra work. It just makes the blend go much smoother in my opinion. All right, so for our focal, we're going to be using the Honeybee Layering Greenery die set. And here I've got the, what is this? The buzz cutter, the bitty buzz cutter from Honeybee Stamps. Now you'll notice I want to partially die cut this leaf out of this background. So I am positioning it on my background and I am moving the cutting plate so that it does not come all the way to the end of my panel. Now what that's going to do is it's only going to put pressure where the plates are, so it's only going to cut through where both plates are. So you can see here the image here, it'll pop out, but it's still connected to the background. I think this is just something that is just a little bit different and a little bit fun. All right, so we're going to glue this to a base here, and I'm going to use the Honeybee Precision Glue. I'm going to put the glue on the back, avoiding the actual leaf, and then adhere that to the panel. And this is going to give me a white solid background that can peek from behind that leaf when I pop it up with some foam tape and slightly offset it. So here you can see I've glued everything but that leaf segment. And as I mentioned, we're going to use a little foam tape to pop this up. Here I'm just deciding which direction I want to offset it. And I'm not doing a huge offset. Obviously it's all still connected at the bottom, so you can only move it so much, but I just wanted a little bit of that white to peek out from underneath. Now you could back this with another color cardstock if you wanted. You don't have to do the white. However, I'm going to be adding some white die cuts on top of this. So I wanted to continue that stark white and kind of tie it together. I'm trimming off the excess, and then I went ahead and cut out another one of those leaves from that same layering greenery set, and I'll have everything linked in the video description below. Same as before, I'm going to use a little liquid adhesive to adhere this at the bottom, and then I'm going to again use that foam tape to pop up portions. I love adding a little bit of dimension, so this is kind of a given. It's almost always going to happen on my cards. I'm going to flip that over and trim off the excess. Now it's time to work on the sentiment. I want the sentiment to be a strip that blends in with the background. So I'm just creating another ink blended background here, and I'm going to try to match where I want the sentiment to go. So I'm going to get the color just about right. It doesn't have to be perfect, close will work. But again, I want it to seamlessly blend in with that background. All right, and once that is done, I'm going to put it to the side to fully dry because we are going to be heat embossing on it. And while that's doing that, we're going to pop this up with some, you guessed it, some 3D foam. Now, the back will not stay like this. The card base, I'm going to do something else to it, but you'll have to wait till the end to see that. So I decided afterwards and didn't film it. Now here we are going to be making 2 cards, so I went ahead and ink blended another sentiment strip in the correct colors. I've just trimmed that off and set it to the side, and we're going to use the Basic Labels stamp set. Some great simple sentiments in here, and the font is perfect for all occasion use. I'm going to treat this with the Cottontail embossing powder tool, and this will just help so that none of that embossing powder sticks anywhere we don't want it. I'm stamping this in Versamark, sprinkling on the white embossing powder, and then we will melt that with our heat gun. I'm going to trim that out and then adhere that with some more foam tape. You'll notice that I added another leaf segment there. I just die cut another one and then trimmed off a portion. I just felt like it completed that visual triangle and it needed a little bit more of that stark white. Now the background is not going to stay this plain. Afterwards, I decided to do something, but you'll have to wait until the end to see that. It was a super easy fix. To dress this up a little bit, adding some honeybee stamps gems. I believe this is I'm going to mispronounce it, Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis gems. Hopefully I got that right. I love the way it finished this off. It's good, simple, elegant design that is kind of timeless. So I like the way these turned out. Now the second card, like I mentioned, we're going to be doing some greens. So I'm using Ocean Drive, Limelight, and Old Gold. Now Old Gold is one of those sleeper colors. It's almost like a tan, leans a little yellowy green, kind of like old gold. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. It's a great color. Again, I'm going to blend this in the 2 layers, so 2 passes. One pass, let that set, come back and do the second pass. Always get beautiful, even results blending this way. Again, we're going to do that same partial die cutting and all of that good stuff, so I did not film that part. But I felt like it looked kind of like an underwater scene. And luckily, one of the dies in that greenery set kind of looks like seaweed. And when you pair it here with the other one, this looks like underwater plants. So I love the way this turned out. Instead of using the gems though, this time I used some Heidi Swap gold, some gold spray. Really old, I don't even know if they still sell it. But you could find something similar. Now here's where I did something different. After I finished, I thought that the background looked a little plain. So I took our foliage frame die and I put that around the outside. Now this die is completely open in the middle, so it was easy just to put a little liquid adhesive on the back and then fit it right over that centerpiece. I love the way these turned out and I hope you do too. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and remember, you can find everything linked in the video description below. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.